Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? Hang on. Yeah, I got a good cup of Joe coffee from Trader Joe's. I like this a lot, which is why I made it again this morning. Really a nice cup of coffee. But the real highlight is the coffee mug I'm using this morning. The Born Loser 30th anniversary. Yeah, this mug goes back to 1995 when the comic strip The Born Loser was celebrating its 30th anniversary. It's been around 55 years now. It was created in 1965 by the cartoonist Art Sansom. But here's the real kicker. I became good friends with Art Sansom and remained good friends with his son Chip. Chip continues the comic strip to this day. And what was so great about that was I met Art when I was a very young man, and he was a fellow Clevelander, so I would drive over to his house and just sit down with him and show him the comic strip work that I was working on. And he would go through it and he would say, I like this, you could change this, use this kind of pen, try this kind of pencil, give me different tools and tips and techniques to incorporate into my work. I mean, really was a tremendous mentor. When I signed my first contract with King Features Syndicate and had my comic strip syndicated through the King Features weekly service, Art immediately said, you have to be a member of the National Cartoonist Society now, Mark. You're working as a cartoonist. And he sponsored me in, and I became a member of the National Cartoonist Society. It was kind of an instantaneous thing. I think he just made a phone call, and they said, okay, yeah, we'll make him a member. Something like that. The next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call from Mel Lazarus, the creator of Mama and Miss Peach. He was the president at the time, and he said, yeah, you're a member. And it was the most amazing thing. But yeah, Art Sansom, the Born Loser, a great tradition, and his son Chip continues the strip to this very day. And 55 years, I think that speaks to how loved the comic strip is. So yeah, this is a mug commemorating the 30th anniversary. So just want to mention that because the National Cartoonist Society, which I'm a member of, was formed in New York City, and that comes into play in these questions here this morning. So let's get to the questions. The first one comes from Jeremy Martin. Hi Mark, what do you recommend besides witch hazel for post-shave on a head shave? Would just regular brute or an alum block work? I've noticed the back of my neck and or head tends to get a little irritated and red, but I don't use anything for a post-shave. Recommendations? Well, when I started doing the full head shave, the first thing I used was the Humphreys Witch Hazel, and that worked fairly well, but it has alcohol in it, so now I tend to stay away from anything with alcohol for post-shave when I do a full head shave. If you want to use a witch hazel that doesn't contain alcohol, Thayer's makes one, which is an aloe vera formula, does not contain any alcohol, and that's nice and soothing, that sort of thing. But yeah, I've gone back to using an alum block on my head just as I use it post-shave for my face. The only difference is after I use the alum block on my head, after about 20 or 30 seconds, I rinse it off and then I follow up with a really nice balm. I use the alum block because it does have astringent and antiseptic properties, and also gives me a feedback to see if I've shaved too close, if I've irritated my skin. But it also will help knock down any of that irritation as well, which is why I use it. But I have found that the key to a really good head shave is slickness. And I think if you look at other YouTubers, folks who are making videos and discussing head shaving, slickness really comes into play, which is why when I talked about doing the full head shave, a lot of viewers on this channel who do head shaves recommended pre-shave oil if I'm going to use a shaving soap or a shaving cream. And I thank those viewers for pointing that out because it came in really handy. I have used the Vikings Blade Gentle Mint pre-shave oil. This worked really well, and I paired it up with Taubach shaving soap. So when I'm using Taubach shaving soap, I will use this pre-shave oil. This was a great 1-2 combination and provided a lot of slickness for doing that head shave. Since then, I've tried other products, and I have found that the Be Bald shave cream is really, really good. You don't need a pre-shave oil for this because this is brushless, and this is very, very slick. I like this a lot. But a really important step in doing the head shave I have found is to use this pre-shave scrub by BGrab. This does a great job. It exfoliates the head, it removes all the dead skin cells. I'll do this in the shower before I do a head shave, and it really prepares the head very, very well for a head shave. So I'll use this, and then I'll use the BGrab shave cream, which is brushless. Just work it into the hands, and whether I'm using a safety razor or a cartridge razor, the key is slickness. So just having this product on my hand and working it in, I can leave it on the hand and reactivate it with water and then re-rub and go over an area with my razor. Really works well. I do the same thing with a shaving soap and shaving cream. If I happen to have some on the brush, I'll just remove it from the brush and apply it with my hand to get some of those areas that I may have missed. Works really, really well. As far as post-shave balms go, I've used a combination of different things. I've used Lubriderm 3-in-1, which is pretty good, contains mineral oil. One wet shaver told me that it didn't work too well for him, but for me, it's worked very, very well. I also like the Everyman Jack. This worked really well. A little bit goes a long way. Really, really enjoyed using this. Avon Wild Country has been a real favorite. I like the scent, and I like the moisturizing qualities of this. This has been very, very good. And of course, BGrab has the Heal post-shave, aftershave balm. This has been very, very good. I like this a lot. And they also have a smooth daily moisturizer. This is in a smaller tube, but again, a little bit goes a long way. You can just put this in your pocket if you want to, and take this with you and just apply it throughout the day if you want. That works very well. And I've also found that something like this, the Gillette aftershave balms, especially this one for sensitive skin. This one worked well for me too, and it's not really that expensive. And again, this is in a container that is small enough to where I can put it in my pocket and take it to the office with me. And if I find that throughout the day, if I want to just apply a little bit to my head, I can go ahead and do that without any problem. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm using right now. If you want to use a splash on your head, you can use the Witch Hazel, which is alcohol-free, and the Stefan 320 astringent lotion. This doesn't have any alcohol in it at all, and this was really nice. And it also has vitamins A, D, and E, and it's pH balance. And I like this. It says soother for face, body, and scalp. So this worked really well for me too. I like this a lot. So if I want to mix things up and not use a balm, I'll use this and maybe follow up with a little bit of balm. So yeah, I am experimenting. It's been a great adventure. I'm so glad I started doing the full head shave. A lot of viewers have encouraged me to do it. I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm happy I'm doing it. And yeah, I'm learning a lot more as I go along. So I'm happy to pass what I've learned so far on to you. And I hope you find it helpful. So thanks for the question. Okay, from Ron Culliner. He has this to say. Hi, Mark. I've been living in New York my whole life and never knew this place existed in Manhattan. I learned about it from another YouTuber and wet shaver, Brian the Floridian. It's called Pasteur Pharmacy on 34th Street and is a wet shaver's paradise. They have everything under the sun there. They even stock an abundance of razor brands. Parker, Merkur, and the list goes on. You name it, they have it. Blades as well. Check Brian's video as he visits this place and films inside. If you're ever in New York, give this place a visit. I'm hoping to check it out very soon. Best, Ron. Ron, as I mentioned, I'm a member of the National Cartoonist Society, and I have been in New York many, many times over the years. And I've gone up there for the National Cartoonist Society Reuben Awards. I've gone there for King Features Christmas parties. I've gone up there for National Cartoonist Society's Christmas parties and other events because I know a lot of cartoonists in New York. And the number of times I've walked up and down 34th Street, I've walked past Pasteur Pharmacy and never walked in because at the time I wasn't doing the traditional wet shave, and I'm kicking myself now at having missed that opportunity. And you can bet that the next time I'm in New York City, I'm going to visit Pasteur Pharmacy. Now, if you've never been to New York City, or you have, and if you've missed Pasteur Pharmacy, it's very easy to find. Here, I'm going to show you how to find Pasteur Pharmacy on Google Maps. So if you're ever walking around, you'll know where it is. Okay, I'm going to show you where Pasteur Pharmacy is on the map here in Google Maps. This is Midtown Manhattan right here. You can see Midtown Manhattan, and I've got Pasteur Pharmacy highlighted right here. Also have a picture of the storefront in the upper left. To the top of the screen here is north, to the bottom of the screen is south. Avenues like Fifth Avenue, Park Avenue, Madison Avenue, they run north and south. Streets like 34th Street, 42nd Street, 57th Street, those run east and west, just to kind of give you an orientation of where you are. So let's just take a look at where Pasteur Pharmacy is. And here's a really easy way, a couple of easy ways of finding it. All right, Pasteur Pharmacy is on a block on 34th Street right here between Park Avenue, which is right over here, and Madison Avenue, which is right here. So here's Park Avenue, here's Madison Avenue, and here is Pasteur Pharmacy. Now, if you're taking a walking tour of New York City, an easy way to find Pasteur Pharmacy, very, very easy. If you happen to be walking down Fifth Avenue, which is right here. Wait for the label to kind of come in for streaming. There's Fifth Avenue right there. If you come down Fifth Avenue right here at 34th, on the corner of 34th and 5th Avenue, what do you see? There it is, the Empire State Building. So just know that if you walk down Fifth Avenue here, and you get to 34th Street, all you have to do is take a left and go about a block and a half, and there's Pasteur Pharmacy. Right there in the midst of the Empire State Building. We get this little guy right here and drop him right about there to give you a street level look. So here's Pasteur Pharmacy. We're in front of it here. The photo's on Google Maps. This is a 360-degree photo. So if you walked out of their front door and stood on the sidewalk here and looked up, there you would see the Empire State Building right there. And of course, looking down 34th Street here, the next intersection would be Madison Avenue. And then after that would be 5th Avenue, where the Empire State Building is, on the corner of 5th and 34th. And of course, looking in the opposite direction is Park Avenue. Next intersection is Park Avenue. So that's a look at where Pasteur Pharmacy is in Midtown Manhattan. An easy way to find it. Walk south on 5th Avenue to 34th Street. When you see the Empire State Building, turn left, go about a block and a half, there's Pasteur Pharmacy. So again, you can bet if I'm in New York City, I'm definitely going to visit Pasteur Pharmacy. So thanks very much for that, Ron. I really do appreciate it. Okay, this next question and comment comes from Lee Hazley. And this goes back to our discussion of bore brushes and synthetic shaving brushes, that sort of thing. And he writes, "Dear Mark, I hope that you are well. Thank you for all the content you have produced." Well, thank you very much for saying that, Lee. I really do appreciate it. "After my comments on your mailbag video, being of the opinion that synthetic hair brushes were superior to boar or badger hair, for that matter, I decided that I needed to prove myself correct. So I took my Omega Proraso boar brush, which can lather up water. I soaked it in warm water for 20 minutes before lathering up some sterling tea tree. When I lather with a synthetic brush, I do 25 swirls in each direction. This will give me enough for a 3-pass face shave and 2-pass head shave." Another viewer commented, suggested that I do that very thing on camera, and I am planning on doing that, doing a face shave and a head shave with a synthetic brush to see how many passes I can get. So Lee, you and I are on the same page with that, and thanks to that viewer for suggesting that. He continues, So in the interest of fairness, I swirled furiously for 30 seconds in each direction, which should have been almost double the amount as I would have in the synthetic. So he's using a boar brush and swirling it in the soap or the cream he has here. But by the third face pass, I find myself having to go back into the puck for more soap. Yeah, he's using a soap puck. Thus, I showed myself for sure that synthetic brushes both create a lather more easily and hold on to it for later on. Lee, thanks for that. This is exactly what I have found. And I'm not saying that synthetic brushes are better than a boar brush or a badger brush. They're all enjoyable to use. It just seems to me that I get more lather from a synthetic brush. And I enjoy using my boar brush. I used my Semogue Excelsior 830 boar brush this morning with some shave cream, and I had a wonderful, wonderful shave with it. And the thing about synthetic brushes is they keep getting better and better and better. And the prices are a little more affordable than some boar brushes and badger brushes that are out there. Although they can get a little bit pricey depending on size, that sort of thing. This Yaqi 30mm brush has been absolutely great. This has been great for head shaves as well. And you know, I've loved this AP Shaving Company brush. This has been great too. This is a tuxedo knot. Been, you know, really nice performer. And then the brush from Viking's Blade, this Dark Raven, has been great. They're all really, really wonderful. The Yaqi Ferrari 26mm brush, this has been great. They're all terrific, terrific brushes. And I just find myself using them more and more because I guess I like using soap more than I do cream. I enjoy using cream, but I guess I'm just in the habit of using soap more often because as you know, my favorite is Taobok. So in the morning, if Taobok's on the counter, I'm grabbing a synthetic brush and, you know, whipping up a lather with that. So yeah. Now Lee also made this observation I want to pass on to you. And he said, boar brushes and badger brushes will eat the lather, whereas a synthetic will just hold on to it. And I agree with that. There is something to be said about that. And I think that's a really good way of looking at it. So Lee, thanks very much for your comments. Thanks very much for doing that little test. I appreciate your honesty and your observations about it. It's great. The wet shave is just great. If you're not doing the traditional wet shave, do it now. There is so much product out there. And I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying that the synthetic brush is better than a boar or a badger hair brush. Whatever works for you will work for you. I just happen to think for me, the synthetic brush just generates a lot of lather when I use it with a soap puck. So I enjoy it. I enjoy all the brushes. I enjoy the traditional wet shave, and as I say, if you're not doing it, do it. There is so much out there. There is so much available. It will make your morning shave so much more enjoyable. All right, that's it. Thanks very, very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like, hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below, let me know. Check out my blog, georgetoon.com/blog for my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/Marks Rating, where you'll find all the products I review on this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.